This is the April 1st, 2015 meeting of the Planning Board of the Town of Smithtown. We're going to begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, and everybody is invited to join in. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Dave Flynn sends his apologies. He had expected to be here tonight, but he's not feeling well. The first item on the agenda this evening, the Planning Department is recommending the following items for adjournment that we have insufficient information to act upon. Under Part 1, Item 1, 2012-04 Storybook Homes. Item 2, 2012-02 Carlson Associates. Item 3, 2009-05 FP4 Realty. Item 4, 773 Scholar Estates. Item 5, 1135 Tahami Plat. Item 6, 288 Olivia Estates. Item 7, 1039 Garden Gate. Item 8, 2010-06 KBC Holdings. Item 9, 911A Glen Hill Northern. Mr. Chairman, these are the items the Planning Department is recommending for adjournment this evening.
Is there anybody present who wishes to be heard on any of the matters regarding which the Planning Department is requesting or recommending an adjournment? Seeing none, a motion, please.
Motion to adjourn items 1 through 9 is read.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? So adjourned.
Mr. Chairman, the next item on the agenda under new hearings is item 10, final subdivision 1141 for Cahill Orchard. The request is for final approval to subdivide 9.498 acres into 7 single-family lots. The final map of Cahill Orchard is comprised of 2 tax lots on Meadow Glen Road, which total 9.498 acres and are irregularly shaped. The property contains an existing dwelling unit on lot number 4, an existing dwelling on lot number 7, and 5 new homes are proposed on the remaining lots. The applicant proposes to extend an existing street known as Rolling Meadow Lane with access to Susan Drive. The site is zoned R43, 1 acre minimum, and is surrounded by property zoned R43. The Planning Board granted preliminary approval to the layout of the subdivision on September 21st, 2011. The layout of the subdivision is substantially in agreement with the preliminary approval. Pursuant to the Long Island Workforce Housing Act, subdivisions such as this, proposing 5 or more units, are required to set aside at least 10% of those units for workforce housing. At the time of preliminary approval, the applicant was proposing to satisfy the requirements of the Act by designating the existing 2-story dwelling on the proposed lot number 7 as the workforce housing unit. However, since that time, the applicant has indicated they intend to take advantage of an exemption to the Act by accepting a density less than the as-of-right yield. In order to accomplish this, the yield of the subdivision has been reduced by merging proposed lot number 8 with lot number 7. Therefore, while the preliminary map was approved for 8 lots, the final map shows only 7 lots. However, lot number 7 contains an existing dwelling unit in addition to a separate building indicated as a 2-story frame building to remain, which is connected to water and septic services. According to the history letter dated May 19, 1996, this structure is classified as an accessory barn, which predates the requirements for a building permit or certificate of occupancy. In order for this application to take advantage of the exemptions of the Act and comply with the town zoning ordinance, this structure cannot be used as a residence now or in the future. Therefore, approval of this subdivision should be conditioned upon this structure's use being limited to an accessory structure of the principal dwelling and a prohibition on further subdivision on this parcel of in the future. All proposed lots will conform to the minimal dimensional regulations of an R43 zone in terms of area, width, and frontage. However, the applicant is requesting 2 variances from the Planning Board. Lot number 4 with an existing home contains environmentally sensitive lands in the form of steep slopes greater than 15%, and the existing home on lot number 7 would have a substandard side yard setback on the north side. Lot number 4 has an area of 43,591 square feet, of which 17,520 square feet are classified as steep slopes. Therefore, because this area is not counted towards the minimum lot area under the zoning ordinance, the applicant is requesting that this lot area be reduced to an effective lot area of 26,071 square feet. Concerning the side yard setback variance, the existing dwelling on lot number 7 will be located 21 feet from the proposed lot proposed lot line of lots 5 and 6. The required minimum side yard setback in the R43 zone is 24 feet, so the applicant is requesting that the side yard on this lot be reduced to 20 feet in order to accommodate the existing home. The applicant is requesting that the planning board grant the lot area variance and the side yard setback variance simultaneously with final plat approval in order to maintain the existing structures as they currently exist. Per section 322-30.4 of the zoning ordinance, the planning board is permitted to do so under the following circumstances. 1. The change does not alter the density required by the zoning district. 2. The change complies with section 322.19, environmentally sensitive lands. 3. The change would result in the addition of not more than one lot to the proposed subdivision, provided it does not alter the density of the zoning district. 4. When in the board's judgment, the change meets one or more of the following objectives. A. There is a public purpose or benefit in changing the requirement pattern. B. The alteration, such as a frontage reduction, is consistent with the surrounding lots. C. The change would preserve historically significant structures or features of the town. D. The change would preserve, protect, or promote scenic or environmentally sensitive lands. E. The alteration would better protect the homeowner from undesirable land uses. F. The change would reduce the amount of regrading or clearing of property. Or G. The change would be incidental or minor and not alter the character of the neighborhood. Further, section 32-30.4 of the zoning ordinance states that the planning board shall grant the minimum variance that it shall deem necessary and adequate, and at the same time preserves and protects the character of the neighborhood and the health, safety, and welfare of the community. In making such a determination, the planning board shall consider and render a determination in accordance with the following standards and criteria. 1. Whether an undesirable change will be produced by the character of the neighborhood, or detriment to nearby properties will be created by granting of the area variance. 2. Whether a benefit sought by an applicant can be achieved by some method feasible for the applicant to pursue other than by an area variance. 3. Whether the proposed variance is substantial. 4. Whether the proposed variance will have an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions of the neighborhood and district. And 5. Whether the alleged difficulty necessitating the area variance was self-created by an applicant, which consideration shall be relevant to the decision of the board but shall not necessarily preclude granting of the area variance. The Planning Department has reviewed the variance requests and found that the requested variances appear to meet all 4 conditions above, that they will not increase the density, nor add an additional lot, will comply with section 322.19 environmentally sensitive lands, and seem appropriate because they meet objective G in that the changes seem incidental and minor. The variances will have little impact on the surrounding neighborhood, and the subdivision will have no change on the environmentally sensitive land as it currently exists. Because the setback variance on lot number 7 is minor, and the structure on lot number 4 has already existed for approximately 50 years, in the Planning Department's judgment, the changes would not alter the character of the neighborhood. With respect to the 5 variance considerations, it appears that the granting of the variances will not produce an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood or a detriment to nearby properties in that they are minor. While the benefits may be achieved by redrawing the lines of these lots, this would be infeasible because it would require changes to the entire subdivision and may result in a less desirable layout. The reduction from the 24-foot minimum side yard setback to 20 feet is not considered substantial, and it is the minimum variance necessary to maintain the existing structure in its current form as the subdivision is proposed. While the reduction of lot area for lot number 4 from 43,560 square feet to 26,071 square feet may seem to be substantial, the dwelling on this lot is existing and no further disturbance will take place on this lot. It appears that the proposed variances will not have an adverse effect on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood or district, as the house on lot number 4 has already been built in accordance with the regulations in effect at the time. The existing home on lot number 4 was approved as part of a 1964 subdivision known as Susan Acres, and no further disturbance to the slopes on this lot are proposed. Further, if the planning board grants the lot area variance, the steep slopes surrounding this property will remain protected from disturbance by the zoning ordinance. And finally, while the alleged difficulty necessitating the area variance may be considered partially self-created by the owners who proposed the subdivision, the structures appear to have been built with any necessary approvals prior to a plan for subdivision of the property. Therefore, it appears that the benefit to the owner is not outweighed by the impact on the neighborhood, as that impact is likely to be minor. For the reasons above, the Planning Department recommends approval of the proposed lot area reduction on lot number 4, and the proposed side yard setback modification on lot number 7, along with final plat approval. These modifications should be noted on the filed map. Pursuant to Section 24832, a fee of $175 is required for each variance. With respect to sidewalks, Susan Drive is a minor sub-collector road, and Rolling Meadow is identified as a residential access street. Although Meadow Glen is classified as a secondary collector street, it is identified in the town's comprehensive plan as a rural or scenic road where views of wooded vegetation are a visual resource. None of these streets have sidewalks, and there are no sidewalks in the surrounding area. Given the low density of development in this area, it is unlikely that sidewalks will be needed at this location in the foreseeable future. Therefore, the Planning Department recommends that the Planning Board waive the sidewalks in this subdivision. Section 248.24 of the subdivision requirements land use standard states that natural areas, parks, and playgrounds are vital to a well-balanced community, and each subdivision will be required to show a park area. However, in cases where the Planning Board determines that a suitable park cannot be located or is otherwise not practical, the subdivider is required to pay a cash equivalent prior to filing the map. The community facility study of the comprehensive plan identifies this particular neighborhood as not having adequate access to neighborhood playgrounds or community parks. Given the location and relative small size of the subdivision, a dedication for park space at the site would not be practicable. Therefore, in lieu of dedicating a park area, the payment of an equivalent park fee established at $8,627 is recommended as a condition of final plat approval. The proposal appears to comply with the standards of the Suffolk County Sanitary Code with respect to sewage flow and septic system setbacks. The Engineering, Highway, and Traffic Safety Departments have found the final plans acceptable. And additionally, Suffolk County Planning Commission has no jurisdiction. Letters assuring availability of utility service have been received from PSE&G and the Suffolk County Water Authority. The Kings Park School District has acknowledged the subdivision. The amount of the inspection fee is estimated at $22,026. The amount of the park fee is estimated at $8,627. The amount of the performance bond is estimated at $275,330. The amount of the cash deposit is estimated at $35,000. The amount of the performance bond to be posted is $240,330. The Planning Department recommends approval of this final map and offers the following resolution for the Board's consideration. Be it resolved that the final plat of Cahill Orchard, number 1141, is hereby approved, subject to the following conditions. Conditions A through L are the standard subdivision conditions which are applied to all subdivisions. Condition M reads, pursuant to Section 248.32, a fee of $175 is required for each variance request. N, no further subdivision shall be permitted. This condition shall be noted on the filed map. O, in accordance with the history letter dated May 19, 1996, the existing barn structure on lot number 7, identified on the survey dated October 11, 2013 by Michael Hillebrand as a 2-story frame building, shall be used only as an accessory structure to the primary use and shall not be used as a residence. Prior to the filing of the map, the building department shall confirm that this structure is in compliance with this condition. P, the deed for lot number 7 shall specify that no further subdivision of this lot is permitted and no more than one dwelling unit is permitted on this lot. And Q, prior to filing the map, the applicant shall file a restrictive covenant in the office of the Suffolk County Clerk on a form acceptable to the town attorney acknowledging conditions N through P above. And be it further resolved that the chairman of the Planning Board is hereby authorized to sign the final plat, thereby approving said plat, after the town board has posted a performance bond of satisfactory form and amount. And be it further resolved that the conditional final approval of said plat shall expire 180 days after the date of this resolution and within 90 days after the chairman of the Planning Board signs the final maps of the plat, unless said plat shall have been duly filed or recorded by the owner in the office of the Suffolk County Clerk. If the board favorably considers the applicant's variance requests, the Planning Department suggests the following resolution. Be it resolved that the Planning Board hereby modifies the Building Zone Ordinance Code of the Town of Smithtown for the subdivision known as Cahill Orchard, number 1141, as follows. With Table 1, a modification of dimensional requirements, reducing the side yard setback on lot number 7 from 24 feet to 20 feet, and in Table 2, reducing the minimum lot area on lot number 4 from 43,560 square feet to 26,017 square feet due to environmentally sensitive lands in the forms of slopes greater than 15%. These tables shall be shown on the filed map to be filed in the office of the Suffolk County Clerk. And finally, for the performance bond estimate, Be it resolved that the chairman of the planning board be authorized to sign the performance bond estimate for Cahill Orchard number 1141 in the amount of $275,330 and establishing an inspection fee of $22,026 and a cash deposit of $35,000. Therefore, the amount of the performance bond to be posted to the town shall be $240,330. And attached to that, you have a map of the subdivision.
Alex, on the bottom of page 5 of the memo is a resolution.
Yes.
Just want to make sure, is that correct as it's written?
Which part do you mean?
The town board, after the town board has posted a performance bond?
Yeah, I think that's referring to the town board accepting the performance bond.
Right, but it says has posted. So I just want to change that. We'll deem that amended to read, town board has accepted a performance bond.
Sure.
Because they're not posting the bond. The applicant, I believe, is going to be posting the bond.
Yeah, that's probably more accurate.
All right, so when we make the motion for the resolution, it'll be as amended, substituting the word accepted for the word posted in that part of the resolution. Okay?
Sure. And I should note that I have the affidavit of posting.
I was just going to ask you that. Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Vincent Tremarco. I represent the applicant. Agnes from the Planning Department was kind enough to send us this memorandum this afternoon. We've had an opportunity to read it. I've gone over it with one of the children, and she's here tonight, Suzanne Cahill, and she's discussed it with her family members, and we find it acceptable. So we ask the board for its favorable consideration. And finally, it's nice to be the only guy at the dance tonight.
Mr. Tremarco, are those the two people in the audience, are they both with you as part of this application? Or you pointed out Ms. Cahill, the gentleman, is he with her also?
This gentleman it's Andy, right?
Andrew, right?
Andrew Rafuse, one of the most prominent builders in the town of Smithtown years ago. His dad started the business, and him and his brother continued it. Now he's with a real estate firm, Remax, and he has the listing to sell the Cahill Orchard property.
Good for him. I just wanted to know that so I don't have to ask, is there anybody in the audience who wishes to be heard on this matter, so that they're both with you on the application. So
Maybe
with that,
he does, I don't know.
I can skip. Does anybody want to be heard on this? No, I didn't think so. Okay. I can skip right to any questions from any member of the board. And if there are none, we'll have first the motion for the resolution on the approval of the final map.
In the matter of the final map of Cahill Orchard number 1141, I move that we adopt the resolution as read in accordance with the recommendation of the Planning Department.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? None? That motion carries unanimously, and that resolution is adopted. Then we would ask, I would ask for a motion on the modification of the building zone ordinance.
In the matter of Cahill Orchard number 1141, motion to approve the variances as listed in the table of modifications in accordance with the recommendation of the Planning Department.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? That motion carries unanimously, and that resolution is adopted. And last but not least, may I please have a motion with respect to the performance bond estimate?
This is where you want to have the substitution?
Oh, we already said that.
Oh, we're done,
It was
okay.
that we made on the record that in the first resolution, the word accepted was going to be
Oh.
substituted for the word posted.
Thank
So when that resolution was passed, it was passed as modified.
I move that we approve the performance bond estimate for Cahill Orchard number 1141 in accordance with the recommendation of the Planning Department.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? That motion carries unanimously, and that resolution is adopted. And Mr. Tremarco, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, that was the last item we have on the agenda.
Seeing that's the last item we have on the agenda, then I'm going to request a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None? And we're adjourned.